spaceship, you're either a crewmate that does tasks around the ship and can win the game that way, or you're an imposter. If an imposter kills enough people, they win. So if I'm a crewmate in one of these games, I will give you a player that I believe will be productive and quote-unquote do his tasks this week in fantasy. If I'm an imposter, I'm telling you about imposter players that I'm entirely out on either in week 10 or going forward. Should be fun. Could not get the face cam to go because I didn't want to spend $5 to get this game on my laptop. So we're getting it on the phone, and hopefully the quality of these things will improve as we go forward. I think gameplay combined with sports can be fun if done right. So we will get started here in just a moment. I want to make sure I can pop up any chats that you have going on here so that I can answer things in real time, which I should be able to here. There we go. There's the chat. Jadis says you're playing Among Us. I am playing Among Us, Jadis. So we are going to get into it here. Okay. Yes, we are playing Among Us. All right, so deal is, I will give you a crewmate or start player that I'm a little bit more of a buy-in on if I am selected as a crewmate, and if I'm an imposter, I'll give you somebody I'm out on. So sound good? Sound good. All right. Of course, ask any questions throughout this stream that may come up. I know this is kind of weird. I do not have my headphones on me at the moment. I'm trying to charge my phone, and it's the same port. Jada says, Tino doesn't know what Among Us is. He's watching, I think. Well, Tino, you're going to learn. You are going to learn. Here we are. Armchair. If I'm a crewmate, I give you a player I like. If I'm an imposter, I give you a player I hate. Ask any fantasy football questions you have as we go through this thing. All right, we need a lobby of 10. Looks like we're going to have 2 imposters. I don't know why. I've just randomly started playing this game again. Really don't have any reasonable explanation for it, but here we are. Here we are. Hopefully this lobby can fill. Hope all of you are doing well. Again, I apologize for the echoey sound. No headphones connected, charging the phone at the moment. But we're playing Among Us. If we're selected as a crewmate, I give you a player I like and why. If we're selected as an imposter, I give you a player I hate and why. Did we just load into a 4-man lobby? I think we did. All right, that's going to be interesting. We'll deal. We will deal. I think. You disconnected. Okay, let's try it again. Let's try it again. We'll get in one of these. But yeah, folks, I have the live chat up, so same thing as per usual with any stream I've ever done, gameplay or not. You can always ask me your fantasy football related questions. Yep, Tino, I see you in the chat. Feel free to ask. We're just doing gameplay, a little fun Among Us themed live stream today where we do crewmate and imposter picks, but really it's just start or sit. Oh, Tino can't hear me. Is Tino also streaming? That would make a lot of sense. Okay, we're going to find a lobby. I promise. We are going to find a lobby. I would hope. All right, folks, if you're just jumping in, we are doing a fantasy football live stream. Do not worry about it. The reason we're playing Among Us is because I thought I'd mix it up a little bit, give you guys something else to look at other than me the entire time. So, if I'm selected as a crewmate, I will give you a player that I am starting. If I am selected as a imposter, I'll give you a player that I'm out on, selling off on. I have a list up here, so I'll kind of just go down the line as these games go through. But yes, just like always, you can ask any fantasy football related question that you have in the comment section in the live chat. Just waiting for a game to load in here. We've got 7. MA football guys in here. Thanks for joining in. Corey, don't actually have many questions this week, man. Hey, don't worry about it. You've always got time if anything pops up. I will be live streaming tomorrow morning as well. All right, we've got 9. 9 people. 1 more so we can start this thing. There's 10. Start the game, start the game, start the game. All right, here we go. Yeah, I don't know why I'm so addicted to this game, and I thought somehow, some way I'm going to perform some mental gymnastics and make Among Us related to fantasy football. So let me know in the chat if this is a stretch or not. All right, so I am a crewmate. So as I play this game, I will give you a crewmate, a.k.a. a player that I'm in on. We're going to start with Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard has had a pretty unfortunate fate so far. This is somebody who, in all honesty, should probably have 5 or 6 rushing touchdowns, but only has 2. Has none since the first week. He's top 5 in the... I just got murked. Okay. That's what happens when you're staring at a document while you run around a map. You get got. That didn't take long at all. Okay. Well, we're just going to do our tasks now, thanks to whoever reported me. Yeah, so Tony Pollard, top 5 in the league in red zone touches last I checked. Cowboys are favorites by more than 2 touchdowns against the Giants. Game script-wise, Pollard should be fed a lot later on in this game. He's been getting the red zone looks. It is quite literally just bad luck. And I hate using that term, especially in fantasy, because there is a lot of analytical research you can do to kind of determine more probable outcomes. But there's really no way to put it. The guy went in, scored a touchdown, and then he got called back on an illegal formation. That's just kind of been the fate for Tony Pollard so far. Jada says, be careful for stream snipers. If you're stream sniping me on here, I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying to help you out with fantasy. Thought I'd give you something else to look at. If you are going out of your way to stream snipe, shame on you. Shame on you. All right. MA Football Guy says, drop Steelers D for Raiders. This week against the... okay, so Steelers are playing the Packers. Raiders are playing against the Jets. I'd do Raiders. I think Zach Wilson and that lack of a Jets offense is a little bit worse than Green Bay right now. At least they're healthy. They've got Christian Watson. They've got Aaron Jones. Aaron Rodgers not being in is really, really messing with the success of that of that Jets offense. Talking and playing is a lot harder than I thought. But Tony Pollard is my first crewmate. I'm not getting that right now. I don't even know if I can fix it as a ghost. Alright, we're good. Najee Harris or Tony Pollard. MA Football Guy, definitely Tony Pollard in the situation he'll be in. He is going to be... Oh, another dead body. 2 dead bodies. He's going to be facing a Giants team that the Cowboys are favored to beat by, I believe, Vegas has 16 or 17 points, which is just astronomical. So, yeah. I'm going to go with that based off game script and the fact that Najee Harris is downright inefficient and is losing a lot more in terms of touches and just overall usage to Jaylen Warren than Tony Pollard is to like a Rico Dowdle. Jada says, so Kyler Murray is playing tomorrow? Yes, he is. That's why it's seemingly a toss-up in that Cardinals game. Otherwise, I feel like it should be a projected blowout, but it's not. Check my battery here. Yeah, I can't go to headphones yet. Sorry. All right, so folks, if you're just stopping in per usual, ask any fantasy football-related questions in the live chat. It's business as usual. The only difference is I'm playing Among Us, kind of because I feel like it, kind of because I feel like giving you guys something different to look at. And in all honesty, just thought I'd do something that was a little unique in terms of the theme we're working with. So if I'm a crewmate, which I am right now, I give you a player that I'm buying in on going into this week. And if I am an imposter, I give you a player that I believe is an imposter. AKA, I don't think they're going to do very well the rest of the season or this week. Of course, I'll specify once I say their names. Oh my, they are relentless. Oh, I can't do anything about this. They're just camping it. Oh, my. Joe Kingsley's in here. Good to see you, Joe. Dalton Kincaid or Taysom Hill? Not sure if I should play it safe or swing for the fences. Normally, I would say Taysom Hill is a riskier play, but against the Vikings this upcoming week, and just because of how many touches he's been getting as of late, I'm actually a big fan of the Taysom Hill move. I would call him relatively touchdown reliant. Wow, we lost. All right. Rough start. Rough start for us, I will not lie. But Dalton Kincaid, bit of a tougher matchup than for Taysom Hill, is going up against the Vikings, who are relatively vulnerable, and Taysom Hill in general. He's been utilized a lot more as that Swiss Army knife as of late because, I mean, plain and simple, the Saints can't really get much going in offense. That has been the case. So, as unfortunate as it is, I do want to go with somebody like Kincaid due to the increased volume we've seen as of late. But I think Taysom Hill's just in a better spot right now, and he's being used a lot more around the red zone. That is their guy when they need to punch it in. And now we have, I hate to bring other things like this into it, but we've got Chris Olave and Michael Thomas both having different criminal activity the last week or two. Seriously, I mean, if we're going to rely on somebody to be on the field right now, I don't see any reports of Taysom Hill getting in trouble with automobiles or anything like that, so I feel a little better about that. Just slightly. All right, next game up. So we gave you our first crewmate, which was Tony Pollard. What are we here? We are a crewmate again. I really like being imposter, so I also want to inform you on who you should stay away from. But we'll go to the next one. We will go to James Cook. He's facing a Broncos team this week, allowing the most yards per carry at nearly 5.5. I would say it's safe to say the Bills should handle the Broncos. I know they had a shocking win against the Chiefs. Better not be a cluster kill in here. Had a shocking win against the Chiefs a couple of weeks ago. Now we're going to Reactor. But game script-wise, I see James Cook getting a lot of touches. And when you consider the fact he's going up against a weak opposition, I'd say that too. I'm going to get voted as an imposter. I just completely stood in the hallway while the Reactor was flipping out. That's all right. You know what? Respect to people who game and hold conversations at the same time, because this is not easy. All right, we're testing it though. All right, Dylan's in here. Good to see you, Dylan. Few questions, all full PPR. All right, start one, James Cook or Hollywood Brown. Even though I do like James Cook's matchup, I like Hollywood Brown better, especially with the increased performance at quarterback play. Absolutely no disrespect to Joshua Dobbs, okay? None at all. But Kyler's just that dynamic. Obviously has that college connection a few years back now with Hollywood Brown. More times than not in full PPR formats, Dylan, I'm going to take a wide receiver over a running back, especially on a losing team that more times than not is going to have to go throw heavy. All right, so I have Hollywood over James Cook. Start one running back, one flex. We have Jerome Ford, Devin Singletary, Zay Flowers. We're going to leave Singletary out of there. Spoiler, two guys that I really don't like in the league right now are Devin Singletary and Dameon Pierce in general, all right? Just because they're so gosh dang inefficient. Purple is safe. Watch them. I mean, we've all voted. I don't really know what to say here. I'm going to skip. Almost just voted for myself. All right, so I'm going to leave Devin Singletary out of there. Obviously, Jerome Ford. I really do think in the AFC North matchup between the Browns and the Ravens, we're going to see a lot more hard-nosed, run-the-football type of play. Devin Singletary is just not as efficient and not as involved as a pass catcher. And Zay Flowers, again, more times than not in flex situations, I am taking receivers. Zay Flowers, I'm definitely getting voted out. There's no way I'm not. Now they're going to think I'm following this person. Oh, my goodness. Let me talk about fantasy football. Stop offsetting the oxygen. Okay, well, I have a task here now, so move. Thank you. So, Dylan, we're going to leave Devin Singletary out of that party just due to lack of efficiency and opportunity for the other two there. Jerome Ford, I think we'll get a lot of usage in that AFC North matchup. It's going to be an ugly ball game between two of the best defenses in the league, in the Browns and the Ravens. Dear goodness. I swear if this meeting is called about me, that'd be something. How do I explain that I'm just streaming at the same time, right? So, yeah, we're going to go James Cook or Hollywood. I'm going Hollywood. Ford, Singletary, Flowers. Singletary is going to be the lone man out. Start 1 tight end, 1 flex out of Njoku, Nate Brown, Ferguson. All right, 1 tight end, 1 flex. I'm not going to go double tight end here. I might. Nate Brown's got one amazing game. The beauty and downfall of C.J. Stroud. Yeah, why did we call this meeting? Beauty and downfall of C.J. Stroud is he spreads the ball out so much. I think outside of Nico Collins right now and Dalton Schultz, we don't have another consistent. Take Dell as well. Really, Nate Brown, what I'm trying to say, just had one really good game. So I'm actually going to go double tight end here with David Njoku and Jake Ferguson. Scratch that. Nope, Jake Ferguson, heavy utilization, pretty consistent throughout the year so far. Oh, we got somebody swearing in the chat. Okay. Whereas David Njoku going up against the Ravens, you'll see why I don't like him later. I'll probably get to this at some point. Obviously, going up against one of the toughest defenses in the league, the Ravens allow the third least amount of fantasy points to the position of tight end. Meanwhile, Jake Ferguson, heavy involvement, easier matchup. Nate Brown, look, C.J. Stroud spreads the ball out a ton. So, all right, I guess Black is getting voted out. So we're going to go Ferguson and Nate Brown. Dylan, we're going to leave Njoku out. I promise I'm focused. Start 1 flex out of Zach Moss. Ooh, Shakir over in Buffalo. I actually picked him up on a 12-man, and Tyler Algier. I'm going to go Shakir because of the increased utilization. And again, outside of some crazy circumstances with a phenomenal pass-catching back, I'm going to go with wide receiver more times than not. What is going on here? Dear God. Okay. Joe Kingsley says Ramondre or Rachaad White. I don't trust Ramondre based on one run last week where White is heavily used in the running and passing game, half PPR. Yeah, White from a Nate Brown, MA football guy. Nate Brown is a wide receiver on the Texans who absolutely popped off. He was on the Cowboys last year. He moved over to Dallas, or he moved over from Dallas to Houston with Dalton Schultz. So younger receiver, just moved to Houston and popped off last week in C.J. Stroud's 470 passing yard game. But between Zach Moss, Shakir, and Algier, yeah, I'm going to go with Shakir. Between Ramondre and Rachaad White, yeah, Joe, you bring up a phenomenal point. And I just don't like Ramondre because he's also a running back on a horrible offense. Plain and simple. The Patriots, I placed a bet on them, a spread bet, and lost it. They are averaging 15 points per game. The Patriots are. All right? That's the second lowest amount in the league. Not only do I want nothing to do with somebody on a bad offense, I want nothing to do somebody on with a running back on a losing football team, because game script wise, guess what? They're going to go throw heavy, and by throw heavy, I don't mean check downs to Ramondre. I mean down the field. I think he gets phased out of this game pretty quick. We're going blue. Okay, I'll go blue. I like how I'm paying no attention to this game, kind of just running around. But yeah. So we're going to go Rachaad White based on volume, based on touchdown upside the last few weeks. And he's got decent pass catching upside. Meanwhile, Ramondre is just on a horrible offense. MA Football Guy says, I got Devontae Adams and Olave in my Purdy league. Almost want to pick up Douglas. Wouldn't hate it, especially with the Olave stuff happening. It looks like he'll be fine. The Carr thing happened last week now. All right, Jada says, Tino wants to know if Josh Downs is going to play tomorrow and Jamar Chase. I'm seeing questionable for both at the moment. Looks like Downs is leaning towards playing. Dylan's laughing at me. This is tough, man. Oh, we just got to do our tasks. I have to do my task. And then I'm good. I'm good. Come on. Oh, my. Okay. That's fine if we catch the imposter. Otherwise, we can win off tasks if I wasn't doing a stream. But, yeah. Folks, if you're just hopping in, we're playing Among Us. I am doing imposters and crewmates in terms of players that you should or shouldn't go with in fantasy. An imposter is somebody, obviously, who you can get from the name, is not doing too well, is overvalued, who I'm out on either in this week or going forward. And a crewmate, well, this is Among Us terminology. Those are the people doing tasks. So I think that the football players on this list are going to be doing their tasks and knocking things out for you. Not going to lie, I really had to do a little mental gymnastics to figure out a way to do an Among Us stream about fantasy football, but let me know if I bridge the gap. Vote Maroon. If it's not him, vote me next. Bold strategy, Cotton, but it might just pay off. I'm going to go with that. TS in here says, yo, what's going on? So yeah, folks, I've already gone over a couple of quote-unquote crewmates. We went with Tony Pollard, and then now James Cook facing a Broncos team allowing the most amount of yards per carry at nearly 5.5. Winning game script as well between the Bills and Broncos. So that's where I'm at there. I think we should be done soon here. I'm going to get my headphones soon so you guys don't have to hear me talking all echoey. I wanted to play this on my laptop, and then I saw Among Us was $5. And I am a cheapskate. So, hey, we won. Okay. So I'm playing it on my phone, doing a mobile stream, and I apologize. No face cam. None of that. I'm still answering your questions, still doing research while I'm on the phone, so it's getting kind of interesting here in terms of my quality of play. But we're going to power through it, all right? That is what we do. Leave a like if you haven't already. We're juggling playing Among Us with answering your fantasy football questions. Let me know in the chat if this is stupid. Seriously, this is kind of just something I wanted to do to switch it up tonight. If you do want to see more of this, let me know. If you don't, please let me know. I don't want to put you through mind-numbing gameplay if it is mind-numbing to you. If you're fine with it, I'm fine with it. I just thought I'd make the little creative tie between crewmates and imposters and players I'd go with and not go with, all right? So we've gone through two crewmates, if you will, Tony Pollard and James Cook. I might spend the $5 on the game. I think this would be a lot better with a face cam. I'm a crewmate again. All right, crewmate for the third time. We're going Brock Purdy, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. Don't leave the game. Oh my gosh, so many people just left the game. Oh, you guys might get a bonus crewmate in like a 30-second game if enough people leave this thing. Don't kill me, 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 don't kill me. I feel like electrical is always the worst spot to be in. Jadis is claiming I'm AI. Yeah, faceless cam, echoey voice, kind of sounds like me. You know, I'd buy it. Jadis, I wish I was popular enough for people to make AI of me. But we're not there yet, man. 888 subscribers is pretty good, but I don't think it's AI worthy yet. Fix the lights. I'm doing asteroids. Oh, we were undefeated for a second there. Okay. Brock Purdy is my next crewmate, if you will. Sorry, I got into doing tasks here. And he is my next crewmate, mainly due to the consistency we've seen out of him. Brock Purdy has one of the easiest remaining schedules. Oh, there we go. Skill positions around him, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle. They're all coming off of a bye, so some of the injuries they've been going through, at least they're a little more rested from such. We lost. Holy cow. I think a lot of people quit. And within a couple of points of his projected total in all but 1 week so far. If you look at Brock Purdy's fantasy scores, he's just been hovering around 15, 16, 17, 18 points. He's very grounded, very predictable, so he's another crewmate pick. All right, Kevin says, traded Addison for Higgins with the idea I wouldn't need him until the end of the season playoffs. Traded Addison for Higgins. Well, Higgins came back, and he's looking pretty strong. And with Justin Jefferson coming back, obviously Josh Dobbs is back there, Kevin. But you got to wonder, how much is that going to impact somebody like Jordan Addison's volume, right? And that is something to ponder for sure. And if you guys are just stopping in, we're playing Among Us, but we're also answering fantasy football questions. When I get picked as a crewmate, I give you a crewmate or a player that I'm high on going down the stretch here in the season. If I get imposter, I'm giving you an imposter, meaning I'll tell you a player I'm low on, I would sell off, or I wouldn't start this week, all right? MA Football Guy says, am I still on? You're not echoing. If I'm not echoing, that's fine with me. Lucius says, in an odd one, Goddard on Yahoo has a doubtful tag, and I can't move him to IR. Okay, he should be on IR. He just had surgery. They're doing the same thing with sleeper fantasy football right now, and it's ticking me off as well, man, so I don't blame you there. Best tight end on the waiver wire is Gerald Everett, so the wire isn't an option. Other options to drop: Zay Flowers, Rashee Rice, and Gabe Davis. What do you think? If we're going to drop anybody out of those three, it's going to be between Rashee Rice and Gabe Davis. Outside of one horrible one-reception performance, pretty recently, by the way, Zay Flowers, he's been pretty consistent. I would say Everett's a decent option, right? I mean, you got to consider this, right? Joshua Palmer is on the IR, and Mike Williams is out for the season. So really, this receiving core right now in Los Angeles, essentially, we're looking at Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, a bunch of other role players, and Gerald Everett, who's coming off of a career year, and a pass-heavy offense led by Kellen Moore with Justin Herbert, who I'm a big fan of at the helm. So I'm okay with it, to be honest. I would drop Rashee Rice or Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis is still really inconsistent. I know he had a good stretch. I'm still not the biggest Gabe Davis fan, if I'm being honest with you. All right. I just got a bitrate warning. Are we glitching at all, folks? Let me know if we're glitching. It looks good to me. I just want to make sure. Jadis says, Jalen Hurts, this bye week is well needed because of his knee injury. This is a tough bye week for fantasy, Jadis. We're losing, of course, the Eagles. We're losing the Dolphins. We're losing the Rams. Ooh, I'm an imposter. I'll give you an imposter. All right. This is going to be tough because I have to be very subtle with what I'm doing. Like, extremely. I'm going to set off oxygen here. So I got imposter, meaning I have to give you a player who I'm down on. I'm going to fool people, fix the oxygen here. I'm killing, and I'm running. Oh. My partner just vented in front of me, so I'm about to be alone. Great. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing that. Would you sit Olave or Adams if Downs is cleared to play? I'm a little worried about a questionable status coming in, and Olave was being utilized more. Adams, hopefully, with new coaching personnel, should be a little bit better. I'm okay with either of those over Josh Downs right now because he's questionable within 24 hours of kick out, meaning, in my opinion, I did not vent. What are you talking about? Okay, I was fixing oxygen, and I... oh, jeez. Okay. Green did not vent, bro. Darker... I'm so confused. I'll just play into the confusion. All right. Sitting Olave or Adams for Downs? No. We have a longer history of usage. Adams still has one of the best target shares in the entire league. We just have to hope O'Connell gets on the same frickin' page as him. And Olave got some red zone targets and actually a touchdown against the Bears. Downs, if we hear something like he's 100% good to play, maybe we take Downs over Adams. It doesn't feel right, but we have been seeing more production out of Downs. Jacob Anders says, with Higgins out and lots of buys, I had to scramble for a flex. Currently playing Khalil Shakir. Am I alone? I might be alone. Currently playing Khalil Shakir. Should I pick up Trenton Irwin, OBJ, Rondale Moore, or Michael Wilson? OBJ had a birthday. I hate to pull that, but it was a garbage time touchdown. I'd say Rondale Moore in that offense. He was actually being utilized a decent amount when Kyler was there. So I'd go Rondale Moore out of that. Michael Wilson had a decent stint, but in the Kyler era, we've seen more utilization of Rondale Moore, and he's actually been used in the run a decent amount as well. So I'd be okay with that. We've won. Bro, my partner was cooking. All right, so the imposter I was going to say is... We'll go with Courtland Sutton. Unrealistic touchdown rate. He almost has a touchdown in every game so far. I don't think that's a sustainable rate by any means. So we're going to lean off that. He's also on not the best team. It does end up being a throw-heavy scheme in Denver. I will say that, but not sustainable in my opinion. So we've got that, and I won. So I'll take a W. Answer some more questions here. Kevin says, full PPR, London or Hollywood, starting Kyler with Hurts on bye. Would not hate the Kyler Hollywood stack. I wish I could do screen share for some research right now, but I'm going to stay in the game so I don't lose connection. Drake London and really any decent offensive contributor in the Atlanta offense is not being used right now by Arthur Smith. Even Bijan is not being used a ton. The passing game is essentially dead. We switched over to Taylor Heineke, so now we have to factor in that and try and figure out who his favorites are. Jonnu Smith's been utilized a ton. He almost seems like the guarantee. So we're going to go with Hollywood Brown. JD says you have to type that you're not the imposter. Well, it looks like I won, so we got away with one. But Jess says, who do you like more rest of season PPR, Chris Olave or Devonta Smith? Probably Chris Olave. There is something to be said about the Eagles and that they're wide receiver 2 and Devonta Smith could go up against a lot of wide receiver 1s. I would not say one of those wide receiver 1s is Chris Olave. Super talented, not the best in terms of offensive production on the Saints, but the tiebreaker here is that the Eagles are a very run-heavy team. We still, even with the knee injury, we see Jalen Hurts tuck it and run a lot. And in general, I mean, we see a lot of DeAndre Swift. So then when you look at a secondary wide receiver, in my opinion, there just isn't enough room. There's not enough room for somebody like Devonta Smith to be productive week in and week out. And we've seen that. We've seen a lack of consistency as of late. All right, folks, I'm going to go grab some earbuds. I will be back in like 10 seconds, maybe 20. You can count. Keep popping those questions in.